Hello, Living in Boulder vlog for March 28th. This is March 29th at 5:21 a.m. 2019 on a Wednesday. So yesterday I did my video at about 5 or 6 in the morning. I think for the last 3 days at least I've been doing it at this time. And yesterday it was the second day. It was my second day of working on Tribes of America, which is very high on the list of interesting because it's my country. So I got this map off of the internet. I want to find out more about the map, but it's this detailed map of all of the, I don't know, what do they call it? Cultural regions. Is that what they called it? I can't remember. And then language groups, and then the tribes, and then tribes within tribes. So 4 different categories. And there's some special way where you can paste big maps on where it's all pegs together. I don't know how to do that. So I just got this big map because, the curvature of the earth makes it so the map can't go around perfectly. So I got the map in all these different locations in America, traced the tribes, and then kind of fused them together to make it as much make sense as I could. I could have make a lot more accurate if I had a KMZ file of all the rivers of America. And I wish I had have remembered to do that, but like I always do, I jumped right into this and I did it. And so, but even if I did have all of the rivers, it would have made it easier, but it would have taken longer. So, maybe later on I could get the Google Earth files of all of the rivers in America and kind of just adjust it and fix everything up, make it good, make it perfect in the future. But for me, what I have now is good enough. I just wanted to know, basically. And so yesterday I traced all the countries and off the map. And then so today, when I mean today, I mean yesterday because it's 5 in the morning. But I perfected them. I made them connected and made the lines consistent. And then I created the cultural groups and then the language groups. And so now I'm working on, language groups. I'm not done with that. After I'm done with the language groups, I'll go in and I'll perfect it a little bit more because I noticed that a lot of it wasn't perfectly I didn't get it perfected on all of them. And so and then I'll organize them into the proper folders. And then after that, that's when I get to create the tribes on my timeline. But I think I'll do it in a new way where it doesn't take too much space. And then link them to my timeline. That's why I created these tribes when I did now, because just the other day, 2 days ago, I linked my tribes from Europe to my timeline. And so then the next country was America, but I'd never built the tribes. So now I'm building the tribes. I'm kind of doing a wrap up, which is interesting on my website. When you do a little bit of work on the website, and then you do a little bit of work at Google Earth, and then you perfect website, and then you do something new on the website, just dancing around keeps it interesting. I'm very pleased with how quickly I can run through stuff. I'm working very well. I don't have any other commitments other than hanging out with my mom, doing stuff for my mom every once in a while. But other than that, I'm in here just, it's awesome. When you're in the bed all day long, it can kind of take a toll on your body and make you have to freak out, and have to get some exercise. But I am not there yet. Yesterday I did sleep a little bit too much. I was having naps because last night, 24 hours ago, yesterday morning, I went into, but it was like 3 in the morning. went into 7-Eleven and got a Slurpee. And but I got a hot dog too. Maybe there was like tryptophan in the hot dog or something because I was knocked out. You know, if I eat too much junk food, it takes a toll on my ability to work because it makes you makes you feel sick, which makes you depressed, takes energy away from you, makes it so you have to get extra sleep. You know, so that's why I don't drink. I pretty much don't drink at all. Although this last month I was doing more drinking than normal, but and I don't smoke weed either because that makes me feel bad physically. It gives me asthma. I found my asthma pretty much goes away when I'm not smoking weed at all. So yeah, the project I'm working on now, super interesting. I wish I'd have gotten this Google Earth, but you know, I'm not even sure there are Google. I don't even know if I could find Google Earth files, KMZ files of all the rivers in America. I got all the files of the rivers in Colorado, but you know, Colorado's probably a lot more organized than any other state because it's the most interesting. And so, yeah. But you know, I'm not a perfectionist. I'll just go. I don't have to make the perfect version. You know, Google has more resources; they could do it. I'm surprised why they didn't do it now. It blows my mind. They have the resources. You know, they on their little map thing. They had the ability to click in and off the different legal zones. So if they did the legal zones, why aren't they doing tribes? You know, it must just be too complicated of a procedure because you don't know exactly where. But yeah, I did a pretty good job of tracing the tribes based off of natural features, mountain ridges, and rivers. But I wasn't totally anal about it. So, but I noticed Google isn't even anal about that kind of stuff. Their tracings aren't perfect either. So, in trade, for example, tracing such as like rivers and stuff. Like, yeah, but yeah. So that's what I'm up to. I don't even think I listened to Play to Republic. I'm not doing my video. I'm not doing YouTube videos doing book reviews because I'm too pressured to do the tribes. You know, I feel like I'm making too much progress at that. My website is a reflection of my mind, you know, and so if my website is jumbled and unfinished and unorganized, that's how I feel mentally, you know. If I can get my website perfectly organized and polished, then that'll make me feel like that, my mind feel like that, and then I'll be able to do other things like YouTube videos. So I was listening to a YouTube channel called Legal Eagle. He's interesting, talks about law stuff. I even subscribe to him. And yeah, I can't remember what other stuff. Some brain candy stuff I was listening to. Because if I'm listening to some heady or, you know, like audiobook, like something I've listened to a bunch of times, like Play to Republic, it can ruin the experience for me because I can't even pay attention to it that much because I'm thinking too much. And if I pay attention to something else too much, then I lose track of what I'm doing and I do it wrong, you know, like I don't trace the right thing, you know. Like if that happens sometimes if I'm on the phone with my fiance, I realize I did it wrong and it gets frustrating. So, you know, you do as much multitasking as your brain can handle, you know. So, yeah, that's my goal. I'm not tired yet. So I'm gonna work as long. I don't feel any time. You know, as soon as I get a groggy pang is when I'm gonna quit. But yeah, I could go another couple of hours just tracing these language areas, zones in America, which is interesting because they're not all in the same place. You know, you'll have a language zone over here, and then in another tribe they speak a similar language, but it's another tribe in another region. So that would be all kinds of interesting to research into. You know. Anyways, that's enough talking for today. Talk to you tomorrow.